couldn't do it without them. Without the women of 2.5 Men, we wouldn't have a show. They're sitting right there. They're listening to me right now.
What the women of 2.5 Men bring to the show is abject terror.
Bum, bum, bum. Seemed appropriate.
If you might have noticed that all of the male characters are deeply afraid of pretty much all the female characters on this show.
Hi, Judith. This is Melissa. Melissa, Judith. It's not what it looks like. Charlie's doing her, not me.
I don't know what that says about the writers of this show. I think we can leave that to psychology professors for years to come.
Why'd she dump you?
Who can understand a woman's mind?
They're all so funny, like Conchata and Marin and Holland and Melanie. They're all just so funny.
The show, in its essence, is about, men trying to deal with relationships. Their inability to deal with, cope with, respond to mothers and wives, ex-wives, girlfriends, and now this year, fiancés. That keeps things moving forward. So the show's called 2.5 Men, but the women drive almost all the action.
You actually think I'm seeing someone else at the same time I'm seeing you?
Yeah.
How did you know?
Well, the men are completely a product of the women in their lives. The men would not be who they were it not for the women.
Well, our role is to impact the men.
We give these men an opportunity to react and respond and show who they are in all their glory.
I watched the 3 women on the show played by, the extraordinary Holland, Conchata, and Melanie, and they are, all 3 of them, they're comic geniuses.
I like writing for women, personally, because they're more empathetic. They're better communicators.
This has been very helpful.
Sit down, Charlie.
What else could we possibly have to talk about?
Alan and Charlie deal with male-female relationships in entirely different ways, all bad, and hopefully that's where we get a lot of our comedy from.
You'd think if Chrissy had my child and decided not to tell me, I'd just send her a little card, thanks for being a good sport or something.
When I think of a typical sitcom woman, it's usually there's a wife, there's a smart wife and a stupid husband. There's a wife that acts like a grown-up and a husband who acts like a kid. We don't have any grown-up women.
The bus was going past the girls' track team, and a bunch of us thought it'd be funny to moon them.
We've been really fortunate with Chatty, with Holland, with Marin, with Melanie. These great actresses. Conchata plays a character who is, she's the voice of truth in the series.
You said you were sick.
I was healed. It's a miracle.
She was a guest character in the 2nd episode of the series, and we just fell in love with her. And we said, how can we be this lucky? This is not a guest character. You stay.
Well, that's what you get when you mix work and personal, which is why me and Charlie have always kept everything strictly professional.
Yeah, I've often wondered about that.
When I first started work here, I laid down the law. Looky, no touchy.
When Chatty came in and read, that was it.
Berta?
Who's asking?
To see how they take a line in a moment with the men, and just even if they say it, like I think about Conchata having just little moments where she does a walk by.
What's this I hear about little Lord Skidmark coming to live here full time?
I'm sure if we all pull together, you'll hardly even notice he's here.
And the entire audience breaks out, in hysterics.
Charlie, you and me gotta have a conversation. Nice talking to you.
It's inexplicable as to why one's employee ends up in a much more powerful position than the employer. But people, human beings, very often just allow themselves to let the situation control them.
Doorbell.
Doorbell! You keep those boys in line. That's usually what they say to me.
We don't really know how long. We never really discussed how long her and Charlie have been together.
The thing of it is that I think that Charlie and Berta probably are best friends, but it's not something that either one of them would ever acknowledge. So you really told her you loved her?
Yeah.
We always knew this day'd come.
Well, that's a good day, right?
If you don't mind being some broad's prison bitch.
There's something about her face that allows her to say the most outrageous things, without being offensive at all.
My friends don't think you're my grandma. They think you're my young aunt.
If he gets his nose any further up her keister, we're gonna have to tie a rope to his feet.
It's just amazing.
She is the staff of life for Charlie, especially.
Here's your overnight bag.
All that's for one night?
I got your flip-flops for the shower, your personal bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth, your hand soap, face soap, and shampoo.
Great.
One handheld TV, your goose down pillow, Egyptian cotton pillowcase and sheets, and a Ziploc baggie of your special blend French roast coffee.
Terrific.
Without her, they'd probably die.
Why is it childproof?
Chatty, who plays Berta, said that our relationship with Charlie was similar in that we both hold him in no regard, but we love him.
Remind me to speak to him about putting this house in my name so it can never fall into the hands of some money-hungry, manipulative bitch that isn't related to him.
Well, thankfully, the dynamic that the writers have set up between Evelyn and Alan and Charlie creates this incredible history of awfulness.
Mom.
Say hi for me.
Hi, Mom. Alan wants to talk to you.
That will be rich for years to come.
Yeah, no, she's a master manipulator. But she's also got a great sense of humor. And she's also, she's very smart. Alan, I just spoke, jeez.
Good to see you too, dear.
You know, Evelyn does love both of her sons in a kind of animal way. She can be very proud of them, my boys. But, you know, they treat her so badly and so rudely that she takes everything with a grain of salt.
Face facts. Some people are meant to be parents and some people aren't.
And you have a perfect example of that sitting right in front of you.
You certainly do.
And she treats them so badly and so rudely that they take everything from her with a grain of salt.
Alan, darling, you were always the good son. Of course, your brother didn't set the bar very high.
Wait a minute.
Holland plays this incredibly narcissistic character that is not going to change, is not going to grow. She is who she is, and their ability to either forgive and embrace it as is their only hope.
Why am I not surprised? Did it have to be my red chiffon?
She's the source of all evil as far as the boys are concerned, and responsible for all of their character flaws and all of their failings, past, present, future. So she has to be a really big person to be responsible for so much.
Well, you're probably wondering why I bought it for you.
Oh, I just assumed you loved me. You did it out of the goodness of your heart. Kidding.
It's not that Evelyn doesn't care about anybody else, because she does, but she cares about herself first.
Charlie, wake up. I need to talk to you.
Don't move. Don't blink.
She's the one who made Charlie and Alan what they are today.
I can't breathe, Mom.
Oh, good, you're awake.
And both boys have reacted to her toxicity.
I have some good news. And no, I'm not dying.
Why would you even go there? Okay, I'm sorry.
And then one thing about it is she never expects anybody to rescue her. She rescues herself.
She's fearless. She'll say anything to anybody. She's nervy. You can't fault her on that.
Did you have something snipped or tucked or sucked?
Just eyes and tush, but nice of you to notice.
I think she's quite happy with herself. I think Berta's quite happy with herself. Marin may be the one who's not happy with herself.
I'm just trying to figure out why I need to go to work today. Why should I bust my hump?
For your self-respect?
Nah, Judith got that in a divorce.
My ex-wife Judith provides this enormous amount of pressure on the guys because there's always this scowling, rageful presence.
1 minute she's loving and affectionate, and the next minute she's, well,
Cruel, vengeful, castrating.
I was going to say moody.
Wait for it.
You know, we've played Marin's character increasingly as shrill.
Get out!
I think just in an effort to make John Cryer's character continuously miserable.
It makes her mad that life seems to be so easy for these people. So she sets herself up and goes, not when I'm around.
I sometimes wonder about the road not taken.
Which road is that?
Your road, Charlie.
So the house is becoming sort of a refugee camp for unhappy men.
Herb Carr.
Bye, Charlie. Bye, Herb. Bye, Al. Bye, Herb. This is fun. Let's do it again.
Now.
And that's good for us. The nature of the series isn't to go out and do location shoots and walking down the city streets and whatnot. It takes place in the kitchen and the living room. So if an unhappy woman is driving men into the house where they can discuss their difficulties, that plays very well into our very small little forum.
I think that Judith kind of loves being around them. And I think there's a part of her that hasn't found herself. And funny enough, when she comes over to this house, she is alive. She's alive with her anguish and her neuroses.
Jake, say goodbye to Mommy! She's going home!
I think I heard her say that she represents a lot of the ex-wives and the ex-girlfriends.
You stole my youth.
You took my house. I think my favorite stuff with Maren this year was there was an episode where we were making an effort. She had broken up with her husband, and there was some chance for us to rekindle, our relationship.
Oh, Alan, why did I ever let you go?
Well, if I recall, it was something about me sucking the life out of you.
And we fell right back into, all the bad habits we had.
Okay, could you please not open your mouth so wide?
She and I both give it a real college try, and it's just not possible.
What do you like, Judith?
I have to tell you?
No. Let me guess and get yelled at.
Well, nobody's yelling at you, Alan. I'm not your mother.
Oh, you're right. My mother can emasculate me without raising her voice.
Oh, God, I can't do this.
I like this show very much for Maren because of the baby coming.
Are we going to talk about the elephant in the room?
What elephant?
I mean, we did have unprotected sex while
You
you were
shut your mouth.
ovulating.
We did not.
And trying to deal with two dopes.
Hello.
Both of her husbands are dopes.
Judith, I love you. Please take me back.
Oh, boy, this is awkward.
But I think probably the most unusual character is Rose. Of all the broads who staggered bare-ass through these hallowed halls, she's the one who really got to you.
She is a enigma.
Melanie plays Rose, who is obsessed with Charlie, and it's not a healthy thing. But we've been playing it with enough affection.
So, Rose,
Charlie?
haven't seen you in a while.
Can't say the same.
I don't think there's ever been a character like Melanie. I don't know that anybody else has taken a stalker and made her a recurring character. And she has infused Rose with a combination of insanity and love, which I've never seen before, and is touching and funny. With another actress, the character of Rose disappears after the pilot.
And it's a funny thing, her presence in this show. She's like from The Secret Garden. She's like a strange little character who's wandered into this kind of very garden variety sitcom in the sense of it's, 4 chairs in a kitchen and a family interacting. And then here comes this wistful, odd little creature who's actually, I think, got a law degree or a psychology degree or something, or maybe both, and is very brilliant and has this perennial crush on Charlie to the point where she'll stalk him to his very death.
Crazy, huh?
And she loves Charlie unconditionally. She shouldn't, but she does.
Maybe the time has come for you and I to start thinking about our future. When Jake goes to college and I get married and we're done, I think the person I would probably find myself at the altar with would in fact be Rose, because she's the only one that, she's nuts, but she's the only one that really understands me.
You never know what kind of freak you're gonna end up with.
The thing of it is about what you call a cliche is the reason they're a cliche because there's truth in there, and there is truth in every one of these characters.
It's what makes the show have depth, is this great ensemble.
I also think that the personalities of the actors come into play, and the fact that the writers are so good. The writers are just so good.
I would love to have an episode that has the women together somehow. Don't ask how exactly. Maybe it could be a wedding and all of a sudden we ended up there and, we're just sort of together and maybe getting drunk and sort of figuring out various permutations of what we think about the men.
We used to have a joke. Holland, Maren, and I used to say that, if they included the women in the title, that the name of the show would be 2.5 Men, 3 Bitches, and a Psycho.
Men, manly men.